In today's episode, we sit down and speak with Ria Doyle. Ria has recently joined RocketPWR Apparel as a brand ambassador. We first crossed paths with Ria in the early part of this year when Ria, who trains at CrossFit Braintree, was competing in an RX competition based in Reading, and I was there coaching a couple of athletes. We began to follow one another on social media platforms and began talking more and more as time passed. Today, we sit down and speak with Ria about all things life in lockdown. Ladies and gents, let me introduce to you Ria. Hello and welcome to the Rocket Power podcast. How are you? How are you keeping during this time?
Hi. Yeah, all good. Just a bit bored. Trying to keep sane, you know.
The
How
same
about you?
entire world. Yeah, everything's pretty good. Ted's just about to turn 1 in about a month's time, so
Oh,
he's keeping us
amazing.
very busy. It's actually been really nice during lockdown because I've got to experience a lot of his first. Like he started eating solid foods, he started to crawl. So if I was
Oh, that's
working,
so cute.
I wouldn't have got to have seen that. So actually, Emily and I have really enjoyed lockdown.
Yeah, you've got the best part of it, haven't you?
Well, I wouldn't go that
And a
far.
screaming child.
Um, to begin with, I want to go all the way back to the beginning of your CrossFit journey. How
Go
long have you
for
been
it.
doing CrossFit, and how did you originally get into CrossFit? Was it something that one of your friends said, I want to do this, will you come with me? Did you find it online? Did you come across one of the CrossFit games and started to watch that and thought that you were going to be the next Katrin?
Oh, don't know about that. um, when did I start CrossFit? It was probably about June last year. I started CrossFit. I
Coming
haven't
up
been
to a
doing.
year now.
Yeah, I haven't been doing it that long at all. And I think I followed a gym like near me, like a CrossFit gym, and I was like, oh, there's no way I can do that. It's like intense. I've trained anyway, like just more bodybuilding. Saw that and I was like, that looks epic. I need to get involved. So I went and had a trial and loved it.
Was your CrossFit affiliate relatively close to where you live? Because when I first started, I had to travel quite a far distance to get to my original affiliate from where I was actually living because it was so long ago. CrossFit was very small.
Well, there's literally one like probably like a 7-minute drive from my house.
Oh, so you're very lucky in that respect, being in the right location.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's all right.
And did you have to do much Googling of where to find it in once you had followed the gym, or was it pretty straightforward? You knew people that were training there, so you just tagged along with them.
No, I moved to where I am now, like 7 years ago, and I didn't know anyone round this way, so I just chucked myself in.
And did you find your first workout more scary than your second? Because when I went, the first one, it's like so daunting, the community, and then not knowing what's coming. And then the second workout, you're like, oh my God, I know what's going to happen to me this time. It could be actually worse.
I think they started me off with wall balls, and I was like, "What are these?" It's like hell.
Well, that leads me on to my next question. Can you remember your first class or your actual first workout?
Um, I remember bits of it. It was like 21, 15, 9 wall
Oh,
balls.
so kick the teeth.
Yeah. I can't remember the rest. And then I think we had to do like pull squats. So you like sit on the box and then you have to get up. And I mean, obviously I can squat, but that was a whole different ball game for me because I was too scared I was going to get stuck on the box and not be able to get up.
Do you feel that coming from a bodybuilding background, you were relatively strong and relatively fit? Then, when you went into your first or second and so on session, you saw all of these people that didn't look like they were going to be as fit as they were.
Yeah. Like when you go to like a normal gym, you look at you think, oh my god, they're absolutely stacked, and then you can see them lift. But with CrossFit, you look at someone and you're like, oh, they're not going to be that good, and they just smash it out of the water, and you're literally standing there like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's crazy. We've got like this 72-year-old at our gym, and she runs circles around a lot of the younger folks. It's incredible. My partner Emily
Yeah.
absolutely loves to train with the 9:30 crew just because that's where this lady trains, and it's really cool to see.
It's inspiring, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
someone who's like older as well now, absolutely smashing all the young people. I'd be like, hey.
I mentioned in your intro that our paths first crossed when you were competing in Reading, and that was your first competition, and that you went RX. What
Yeah.
made you go RX for your first competition? Because at that
Um,
you must have only been doing CrossFit about 6 months, maybe.
yeah. Um, I mean, a month into CrossFit, I done my first comp at Reading, pairs, got thrown into that one. But the girls at the box were like, Ria, you can lift them weights, like you can do it. And I was like, are you sure?
Were they just lying to you, really, and that you couldn't lift the weights? They just wanted you to throw yourself in.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's like, right, let's see how far she can swim. But I think the I can't remember what one it was, but it was the clean one, and it was like building up to like a good 75 reps clean, and I was like, there is no way I'm doing that. And I
Was
got
that at the
to,
competition?
yeah, and I
So
was like, that's not happening at all.
that were it started off at a lighter weight, but it was kind of all about the cleans that workout, wasn't it? Wasn't it like 10
It was
cleans at a certain weight, box jumps, and possibly kettlebell swings?
No, it was, I think it was just cleans and box jumps, but it was like 40, 50, 60, 70. And I couldn't, even in the box, I tried to do it and I'd done the 60, but I couldn't even lift the bar up. But actually, on the day, I ended up getting out the 10 reps. I mean, they're a rope is hell, but
I was just about to say that I went back through your Instagram to look at some of the videos in photos from that day to see what we were going to use as a thumbnail. And I come across your cleans, and I've got to say they weren't the best technique, but I think it was definitely strength that got you through that workout.
yeah, that I was like, that bar's going up. Even my coach was like, Ria, like, I didn't even get a well done. It was, you got the bar up, but your technique wasn't there. I was like, look, can you just let me have my 5 minutes, please?
Was your coach there that day?
No.
Well, I was exactly the same. I think I was coaching 4 or 5 athletes that was there that day, and I was there more as a friend. But as
Yeah.
of when they were competing, I was like, form and technique over this. We've got one girl like you, super strong, but her technique just goes to pot just because she just wants to get through it. That
Yeah.
snatch workout, she was good in training just because she can muscle it, but I'm like, efficiency is key, so you don't have to do burpees. So this
Yeah.
workout that we're talking about for people that are listening, it was 75 snatches with barbell only. For every break, it was 5 burpees over the bar, I believe.
Yeah.
And she just forgot to duck under the bar. She was just winging it, but that day she went unbroken. I was like, well done, but it was terrible.
That's probably me every time.
And how were you feeling in the lead up in the morning of? Do you get
Oh, I
nervous towards
I get
competitions?
such bad anxiety. Like I can't sleep the night before. Even though everyone's like, it's fun. I'm like, yeah, but I put my all into it. I
Yeah.
don't care where I go, or like I just get really nervous. Even like when you're waiting like with the bar and they're like doing the countdown, I'm literally like, oh my god, I'm gonna be sick.
Those 10 seconds I used to get really nervous about. Those were like the worst. I didn't mind going to an event or whatnot, but 10 down to 2 felt like the longest time. And then as soon
Yeah,
as the buzzer went, you were like, and you just forget in your head, and let's say it's a clean and box jump. Oh my God, what if I can't do a box jump? Like, I think I forgot how to do it. My legs aren't going to
yeah,
move.
I know.
It's
Your legs are like
crazy.
jelly. You're literally like, work now.
So you just said you're a rather competitive person. Is that what drove you to go RX over the scale? Or did you in your head know that you felt like you were ready for an RX competition?
I thought if I scaled, I don't think it would have been. I wouldn't have pushed myself as much. So I was like, just do RX, and if you ruin yourself, you ruin yourself. You got to push yourself.
Well, what I found was a bit crazy about that workout because Small Claire, who speaks with Sinead a lot, they
Yeah,
on
yeah,
that day. The scaled, I believe that she would have won that if Claire would have went on to do that. But the RX weights were really crazy. There was no intermediate level, which I think Claire would have sat in and kind of
yeah,
done really well and maybe made top 10. I think RX was kind of a bit too crazy for her.
yeah. It like even with the rower, I hate the rower. Like that is like, oh, I just can't stand it. And to do 1,000 meters for me, I was just like, I just need to get this over and done with. And I smashed my time, but you're blowing at the end of it. You're done.
If that workout was flipped, so the workout was like a 12-minute time cap, wasn't it? 1,000
Yeah.
meter row, 50 dumbbell thrusters, was it?
Uh,
Or 30
yeah.
squats,
No,
30
it
shoulders
was.
head?
No, it was. I think I can't remember now. It was push. It was push press and
Oh, that's it then.
squats.
So
Squats, isn't it?
1,000 meter row, 50 squats, 50 dumbbell presses, and then
Yeah.
50 pull-ups or something like that. Claire would have absolutely smashed that workout if it was done in reverse and she got to do the pull-ups first, blow her shoulders out, then got to use her legs.
Yeah.
Her gymnastics is better than her strength in relation. If that was flipped, she would have done so much better.
Yeah, my gymnastics is something I'm really working on at the moment. But I think I was the only person that was like smashing out strict pull-ups that day. Because
I think I turned to a couple of the scaled athletes and were like, what is this girl doing? She's RX, right? Like, there's no need to be doing strict pull ups, no need to show off.
yeah, but for me to get my kit would have took me twice as long as for me to just do a few strict. I was like, I haven't got much time. Just get out as much as you can. So I was like, get it done.
Is competing in CrossFit something you knew you wanted to do as and when you started your journey? Or is it more of a community thing that you and the Braintree girls do together? Because I know that you had a lot of girls there that day, an awesome support system, and I think you guys made up about half of the competition.
That's quite nice to hear. I I don't even know. Like I think I got asked to do one comp, and then from there I was hooked. I was like, I was booking up like loads of competitions. All the girls were like up for it. I mean, I think since I've been at the box, I've pushed more of the girls to want to compete because I was like, I've been doing this 7 months. If I can compete, I just wing it. I was like, we can all do it. You got to push yourself.
Would you say competing within Braintree is more your idea that you try and involve them in, or something that they saw you walk in? There's this tall, strong looking girl with a great physique. Did you think they pounced on you to try and bring you into the competition side of things,
Um,
or a
I
bit
don't
of both?
know. I think it's a bit of both. Yeah, like even when we're training or I do an open session, and it's nice because I love helping people as well. So like if they're stuck on stuff, like I'm always there, like trying to help them, and we help each other, and it's nice. That's what I love about CrossFit. Like everyone is keen to help one another, and it's not about who looks better than who, and if you can do it better, it's support, and it's really nice.
Absolutely. And had you entered any other competitions that had been cancelled due to the current situation?
Yeah, we was doing the Colchester, I think the same sex free
Yeah,
that got cancelled, and then I was doing Suffolk Games, so that'll probably be cancelled. And I was a standby for Tribal Clash and Woodlands.
that woodland looks absolutely incredible, doesn't it?
Yeah, but then when they started getting the sandbags out, I was like, I don't know about this.
Have they rescheduled or have they just straight up cancelled until next year?
I think we're still waiting to hear what's going on.
That Colchester event that you took part in, I believe that one of our Rocket Power athletes ended up on the podium there, second.
Oh,
That was
really?
the same-sex pairs, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think I did that one. Yeah, I did. Was it in December, wasn't it?
I think so. I was
Yeah.
stalking your Instagram. That's how I knew you were there. I think you had pink hair at the time.
Yeah. I missed that hair.
But we talk about your Instagram a lot. So for everyone that is listening, I will put your Instagram details into the show notes. And I'm not sure whether you noticed, you will be the first podcast that will be going onto Spotify and iTunes as we're now registered and we've now got our RSS feed. So we're able to go live on Spotify and
Oh,
iTunes and Google Play as well.
exciting time.
It's not too shabby, eh?
Get to hear my annoying voice.
Your accent is quite cool. Whenever I do a podcast, I'm kind of nervous because I am the worst person with accents. So I need to be careful about who I invite on to make sure that I can understand. Otherwise, I have M next to me. I'm like, all right, okay. And then I answer your question, and it's like, this is the most awkward ever. So, like, Liverpudlians or Scottish people, you won't hear them on this podcast, I don't think.
Unless they
Sorry.
can translate.
Yeah, I'm ever so sorry if you're Liverpudlian or Manchester or Scottish, you may not be invited onto the podcast.
I'm like that with my clients though. When I've got a hairdryer going and we're having a conversation, I can't hear a word they're saying, but I just nod and agree. I'm like, yeah, it's fine.
If you saw about what's happening life after lockdown for hairdressers at the moment, I think I saw it in the Sun. No direct conversation. You can only talk to them through the mirror. You've both got to be wearing masks. It can't be, you can't
Yeah.
spray anything on their hair because of contamination and so forth. It's a lot of rules to go back to.
Yeah, I've got my boss FaceTiming me today to fill me in with everything.
I don't
And
think anyone will know anything until this Sunday because I'm the same. I'm head
no,
at our local affiliate, but I think
yeah,
affiliates and hairdressers will go back roughly about the same time because it's allowing people into your workplace, isn't it?
yeah. It's like with my boyfriend's gym, like no one knows what's going on, but obviously they're a smaller gym, so hopefully they can get their members back before.
Hopefully, and because CrossFit is much smaller than commercial gyms, hopefully
Yeah.
the government realizing maybe there's someone in the government that does CrossFit and they're like, let's let CrossFitters
Yeah,
go back. Why
let's get
not?
them in.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Boris. Do you want to come and snatch with us?
Yeah. He'll probably be able to snatch better than me.
Oh, probably me as well. But we're going to get to that later on in the podcast. There is a snatch sort of question going around.
Oh no.
You took part in the Rocket Power at home throwdown, placing 64th out of 184. You were neck and neck with your CrossFit bestie, Sinead, all the way up until the final workout, which was an awesome little rivalry to watch you two as I knew you were friends on the leaderboard.
Yeah.
As soon as the final workout was released, how did you feel knowing that Sinead was much more efficient at burpees and pistols over yourself?
I mean, I was fuming. But
It
I
did literally come
also,
down to that last workout, didn't it? Because you
yeah,
were literally one above the other.
I couldn't even do it anyway because I tried to do a headstand and I smacked my back on the concrete slab, bruised all my back. So there was no way I was trying to pistol or burpee. So I had to lay off training for about 4 days, which
So
I
you
wasn't
didn't
pleased
even
about.
take part in the final.
No,
Okay, so that 64, it may have been much higher as if you would have just entered the score.
yeah. I tried to
But
do a pistol and it was not good for my back.
how are your pistols in general due to your long
Terrible.
neighbours? Terrible. Yeah. What was your favourite workout of the at-home throwdown that you did? Did you take part in all of the other workouts bar one?
Yeah. I quite like the double under one. The ladder. Was it
Double
the
unders
ladder?
and burpees, was that?
Yeah. No, it
There
was
was double unders, jumping
squat.
lunges, and air squats.
Yeah.
There was also double unders, 15 burpees, double unders, 14 burpees.
The jumping squats and lunges. Quite like that one.
they all combine into one. I feel that I've programmed so many workouts for these at-home series. I don't know what was when, and the at-home throwdown just seems so long ago now. It's
Yeah, I know.
about 2-3 weeks that one finished.
It's mad, isn't it?
So, double unders, favorite workout. What was your least favorite workout?
Oh, 100 burpees for time, 100%.
How did you get on with that?
I can't even remember.
So, if 100 burpees was your least favorite workout, going into the final workout, pistols with 100 burpees, do you think that would have took the top spot?
Yeah, 100%.
You're also registered for the challenge series. So far, what has been your favorite challenge that you've seen come up?
Do you know, I literally loved the one I did yesterday, the Twisted Cindy.
Oh yeah, we had a lot of good feedback on that.
Like, that was, yeah. And I actually shocked myself. But then I think most of the challenges is I've managed to do something that I couldn't do, like with the
Yeah,
handstand kipping press ups. Like, that was just like, oh my god, I can actually do a kipping handstand.
which is
Really rubbish ones, but
but we've had a lot of people say that they've pushed themselves out of their comfort zone. In for Emily and I to see as Rocket Power, it's actually really cool because we're only a small brand and we've got like 3,500 followers, which in the grand scheme of thing isn't massive. But I feel that we've impacted so many people, especially with that 5K run at the beginning. I
oh,
was so
100%.
weary about even programming it because it was such a horrible workout. And 5K is a long distance, but 1K would have been too short. I thought a lot of people would have been like, no, I'm not doing it. That's it. I'm just sacking it off. But so many people entered scores and so many decent times went up.
Yeah, I think, like with running as well, it's not, it's not everyone's cup of tea. But even with that, I done that 5K where you donate the money, and I was like, after that, I was like, oh, I'm not doing another 5K. But then you put the 5K up, and I was like, just get it done.
A lot of people asked because they had done the same that run 5, donate 5. They asked if they could use that, and I was just like, no, the challenge wasn't out then to use that time.
Yeah,
So actually, now you've ran 5K, you know the distance, you may be able to push because you're actually doing it for a reason. When
yeah,
you put your time or you see people on a public forum or a leaderboard, I feel that you actually push that little bit more because you don't want to be low down.
yeah. I think as well. Like, I mean, I only ever run for charity. That is I hate running. I only ever do. I've done the 10K Race for Life 3 times now, and that is the only time that I will ever run and try and get a good time because I mean, my boyfriend's dad was diagnosed with cancer, and and I do it for him, which
Yeah.
is obviously really nice, and it covers all sorts of cancers. So I'm like, that's the only thing that I'll do, and it's disgusting. It's terrible.
I absolutely hate running and I will try and bypass it the
Oh
best I
yeah,
can. I've not long come off a running cycle through my individualized programming. And
yeah,
obviously, you have to test your 5K time so you can see if it's improved. And I did all my
yeah.
running on the assault runner. In my first 5K, I'm
Oh,
not
that's
sure whether I
gross.
ever ran on an assault runner. It
They're
took me
awful.
42 minutes to run 5K, when in the street, I can do it in 21 minutes. I'm like, what
What?
is this?
That's
Ridiculous.
mental.
If you could program a challenge for yourself, what would it look like or what would it be?
Um,
'Cause
Jesus.
when you let us know, we will program something completely different. We've had Sinead message asking if we can do more handstands
Why?
because
So
clearly
she's good at them.
she's good at
She's
them.
annoying. Like, she does this all the time. Like, she'll program a workout and she'll be absolutely unreal at it. And then there's me, like, just dragging along her. I was like, I'm dying.
Would you say that you and Sinead are two completely different athletes?
Um, yeah, like, I mean, we both agree, like, she's unreal at like the gymnastic stuff, like, and I'm a lot stronger, as in like strength stuff. So like with me and her, like we always said, like, if we ever do a comp, I would be doing the strength stuff, she'd be doing like the gymnastics, like thrusters. That girl flies. She's like, we call her the pocket rocket.
I think a lot of people have that name, and a lot of people message saying, "Oh my God, your brand's amazing," because I get called the Pocket Rocket, and I'm like, "That's cool."
You're like, not what I'm going for, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll take it. Before
Yeah.
lockdown, how often were you training, and what did your training look like? Was it a split between CrossFit 3 days a week and training at your partner's gym twice a week for aesthetics, or was it full-time CrossFit?
Yeah, but I'm a bit of a freak. So I train 6 to 7 times a week, and I'm a member at the gym, like near my work. And on
Yeah.
my lunch break, I go and do a spin class. Yeah, I'm not well. And I'll like do strength stuff in the morning, and then I'll go CrossFit in the evening. So, I've switched it up. But I think this lockdown has sort of made me realise that, stop battering your body the way you are and get a plan in place. Because I've got my gymnastic program in, which I'm doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then in between that, I'm going to my partner's gym and doing more strength stuff.
Yeah. Have you noticed during lockdown, since you've stopped battering your body, that you've got less niggles and aches?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my back's always an issue with me. I've got a curvature in the spine. So I have to be, a little bit careful. But then I think that's down to my core. It's not strong enough. So this gymnastic stuff's massively helping me now.
So following your Insta, we can see that you're continuing to train. Obviously, a lowered intensity, as you just said. Can you tell us a bit more what training has looked like for you since going into lockdown? Is it class programming via Zoom, individualized programming? You just said that you're a lot more gymnastics based on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or is it whatever you decide to do on that day because it's more fun?
Well, I'd love to say that my gym are doing Zoom workouts, which they're not.
Okay.
I'm not going to get into that.
I won't add any comment on
I mean, they, they send me a WOD out. I'll look at it, and if it's something that I'm like, I'm not going to bother doing that stuff, I'll just go and do my own thing.
Yeah.
And I'm doing a strength thing like once a week, just trying to see if I can hit some new PBs while I'm in lockdown.
Every day a PB day.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that.
If I can't one rep max today, I will tomorrow.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit ambitious sometimes. I mean, even my boyfriend like tells me off. He's like, "You are not going to PB today." He's like, "You haven't." I think I haven't deadlifted for 6 months, like doing my 1 rep max, and I think I'm just going to go in. I'm just going to PB today.
But when you get to go to the gym, if you choose what music that's going on, what are you choosing?
It's got to be angry.
Angry, like Mosher angry or R&B rap angry?
Depends on the day. Like if I'm like going for a proper like metal workout, like just full on bar, it's got to be like dirty rock. I mean, it depends. It depends on the workout that I'm doing. Like if I'm doing like box jumps and stuff like that, it's got to be a bit of like dance, I reckon.
Damn.
Something a bit more like chilled that I can have a little sing along to.
My playlist is either country or pop punk back from 15 years ago, like Good Charlotte, Fall Out Boy.
Oh, I love
all
that.
The classics.
Unreal. I love all that.
If there was one movement such as a ring muscle up or a certain weight body, like such as a body weight snatch, etc., that you could instantly have, what would it be? But you only get to choose one movement. So that could be, as I said, a ring muscle up. You could string 10 ring muscle ups together. You could have a body weight snatch, a body weight and a half clean and jerk. Only one movement. What would that movement be?
It's 100% got to be a muscle up.
Just one.
Well, like quite a few.
Five. Ring
A
or
good
bar?
10. I reckon a good 10. It's
Yeah.
got to be rings, isn't it? It's more impressive.
Is it? Because I find bar muscle ups much harder, and rings you can manipulate to where you want. But both
I've
of
never
them,
done it either, so I can't
I
comment on
managed to get them
that.
on like my first go of trying, and ever since I'm pretty decent at ring and bar muscle ups. They
Yeah.
come where double unders shot me in the foot for about a year. I just couldn't do them.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I spent a good hour at the box one Sunday, and I was like, I'm getting double unders today. And I was there for an hour, just jumping up and down on my rope. And I got it. And then I was literally like screaming around the whole box. I was like, I got double unders. I was
How
like,
many
I
did
could
you
do
get?
it.
Just the one.
I got about 20 in a row. I was like, go on, Ria. I was like, smashed it.
Not too bad. If so, with going back to ring muscle ups, someone said, I can give you 5 ring muscle ups. How much would you be willing to pay them if you could just instantly have 5 ring muscle ups? Like, surely it's worth £100, maybe?
Yeah, definitely.
200?
Probably give him like 300 quid. Like,
300?
give me him now.
Okay. So if I come to you and said, Ria, I'll give you 5 ring muscle ups for £305, would you take it?
Yeah, I'd be like, done deal.
What about 350 then? Because you just said 300 and I've just squeezed you for 305.
See, this is why I have no money. Forever being told off.
Just crack with money. I'll give.
Oh,
What do you
terrible.
want? 10 grand. Yep. Perfect. That's for one muscle up. I'll take it.
Yeah, deal. Even though that person's probably willing to take 500 quid.
Yeah,
You'd be
they were
like,
happy to give them to you for free, but
yeah.
I'll take the 10 grand. If you could take one movement out of CrossFit and never do it again, what would that movement be?
Probably Turkish get up.
Okay. That's a bit of
Or
out
a
there.
good morning. I don't get good mornings. I just
But
don't.
that's way more of an accessory movement. You won't go to a lot of CrossFit gyms and they're kind of throwing good mornings or Turkish get-ups. I
I don't
think
know. My coach seems to love him.
they are incredible as well. Actually, both movements. I was going to say good mornings, but no, the shoulder stability and the core within a Turkish get-up is insane.
I get the get ups. I get that. But good mornings, like it breaks my back. I'm literally like, no, I'm done.
Maybe he just wants you to bow down, and he's just like, bow down, bish.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I get abused a lot, so it wouldn't surprise me.
What is your favorite movement? If we've just talked about your worst,
I think cleans,
power or squat?
power.
Everyone chooses power.
Because you can just get like full on angry, can't you? Like, and it looks good. Like all your muscles pop out, and like got a good little like poo face going on.
I was going to say those facials, they get a bit crazy.
Yeah, I know, especially when you're competing, and then like you've got a camera in your face, and you're like, this is not going to look good at all.
Does having a camera in your face hype you up, or does it put you off?
I hardly notice it, to be honest. I'm too busy like doing what I'm doing to even notice that camera's there. Because normally I'm a bit camera shy.
Yeah.
Which is really surprising. But yeah, like you don't notice it. You're trying to get it done. You just like whatever.
We've spoken about your partner and how he owns a gym.
Yeah.
You said that you go bodybuilding. Is there much aesthetically that you work on, such as do you work on your legs over your shoulders, or is it all pretty much programmed for you? What do you enjoy training within the bodybuilding world?
I'll probably say legs, because for me, that's the one thing I hate. I hate my legs. So if I can try and, like, bring them in a little bit, stop them flapping about. Yeah, I'm game for
There's
that.
hardly much to flap about.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen them up close.
I've only ever seen them on Insta.
Yeah, that's why, like, with your shorts, like I said to you, I don't get that overhang, which I hate.
It sounds weird because I can relate, because when we started sourcing the shorts, Emily was pregnant and she couldn't fit into anything. So I was like, I'm like a size large ladies. I had to try
Yeah.
on the leopard print booties, the leggings, the shorts. So I was walking around the house. I'm like, oh my God, these are so freaking comfortable. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's hard. I think for girls it's hard because, one, you don't want them see through. So when you're actually doing a squat, everyone can just see everything. And it's to hold, like, hold your legs in so you feel good. Like, I think it's girls, like some girls, like men, I think, especially my partner, he doesn't get it. He's like, why are you so fussy? I'm like, especially when you're like, if you're a bit paranoid about your legs and stuff like that, I was like, you need to feel good in it. Like,
Yeah.
and it helps with your workout as well. If you feel good, you're going to absolutely smash it.
Yeah. Feel good, look good, perform good.
Yeah. That's it.
But we're going to go into a 60-second drill. This is our first one on the podcast, but I think I'm going to make it a regular thing going forward. I'm going to put 60 seconds on the clock. I don't think we need 60 seconds just because I've only got about 13 this or that to go through. And all you have to do is give me the answer as quickly as you can. Okay?
I'm
As
all
I
for
said,
stuff like this.
there's not many to go through, so it's not going to take too long.
Okay.
Clean and jerk or snatch?
Clean jerk.
AMRAP or for time?
AMRAP.
Protein shake or protein bar?
Protein shake.
Power or squat?
Power.
Gymnastics or weightlifting?
Gymnastics.
Rower or the bike?
Bike.
Cardio or strength?
Strength.
Chipper workout or sprint?
Chipper.
Upper body or lower body training?
Lower body.
Dumbbell or kettlebell movements?
Dumbbell.
Burpees or running?
Burpees.
Awesome. That's the end of it. As I said, I think that was much less than 60 seconds, but they will be getting added on. Before we wrap up the podcast, as we've been rambling on for just under 40 minutes now, is there anything that you would like to add to the podcast?
I
I don't know.
I don't know. Put me on the
We
spot
can
now.
have you on to a second podcast and just have you as a regular guest if you want to be. You've been brilliant on this podcast. You've been a natural.
I'm game. I'm up for it.
I think there's a space for a new host if you want to be the host and just take my job away from me.
I think I'll leave you to that, actually.
So I just want to say thank you for chatting us and thank you for joining. We appreciate your time.
Thank you
We
for
hope
inviting
that
me.
you continue to enjoy the rest of lockdown and we shall catch you on the flip side.
I will see you on the flip side.
You will indeed. Have a great day.
And you. See you
Catch you
later.
Bye.
All right, bye.